Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to 15 Minutes of Game, the NFL edition. I'm Julian, got Steve, and we got Javon here. So, fellas, we are coming off a hyped NFL draft. But before we get to the draft and mention we were 5 for 5 in our mocks last week, check us out. But before the draft happened, Aaron Rodgers news dropped a few hours before the draft saying Aaron Rodgers wasn't happy in his situation and he wanted to leave. Different reports about the Packers turning down trades, GM, coach going out to fly to talk to Aaron. I just want to get you guys' thoughts on this whole situation going on in Green Bay.
Yeah, man, I always defend Aaron Rodgers because I think he's super talented. Obvious. I mean, I don't have to go into all that, but as a person, personality wise, why do this now? What? He has Devontae Adams, he has Aaron Jones, he has one of the best O lines in the league. Just be quiet a little bit, man, and be a leader. Keep it in house, dude. You don't have to go and make it all public. I just don't think that was the best for his team. He can obviously get away with it because he's top 2 quarterback in the league. But I just don't think he went about it the right way, or the way that a leader should. And I do think he has enough help to win now. So I saw they got him a receiver in the second round or something like that. So yeah, I mean, the writing's on the wall, though. They did draft Jordan Love. So I know he still feels disrespected by that.
So true. Steve.
Hey man, whatever Aaron wants, give it to him. I fully support that if he doesn't get what he wants, that he retires. As I sit here with my Bears hat and Walter Payton shirt on. But nah, man, what is he doing any different than James Harden, man? Or any of these other dudes in the other sports that want to get traded, or, Stephon Diggs wants out and then gets on Buffalo. It's you know, I think his biggest beef was last season that they didn't hit him up and let him know, hey, dude, we're going to trade up for a quarterback. I think they just did it. And he just found drafting a QB is one thing, but they traded up for this guy. So, it's hard. I can't be unbiased as a Bears fan. Get away from me, dude. Go get traded to the Broncos or the Raiders or anybody, man. Anybody, get out of that division. Yeah. He's got the clout, man. He 37 or whatever he is, 36, and was the NFL MVP. And if the coach didn't make some dumb decisions, could have beat Tampa Bay. So yeah, I'm being biased, but I fully support him being upset, and I hope it's completely botched, and I hope he goes somewhere that isn't back to Green Bay. What about you, Julian?
That news shocked me just because, as you mentioned, he won the league MVP, named the best player in the NFL. And as Javon mentioned, he has Devontae Adams, who had 19, 20 receiving touchdowns, Aaron Jones, who was a monster. And they went to the NFC East Championship game, lost it twice in 3 years. So it's he has the guys, but as you mentioned, Steve, I feel like he's just bitter at the front office for not communicating about the Jordan Love instance.
He specifically doesn't like somebody supposedly in the front office, and so if that's true, which it probably is, if he's that passionate about it, it's if it really is get rid of this guy, or I'm retiring, then I'm gonna bet you they get rid of that dude, whoever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Jeopardy's not gonna...
Aaron Rodgers is. They want him to play, man, because I know we're gonna get into draft talk, but the funny thing is, if Aaron Rodgers retires or goes to a different team, without even naming the quarterbacks, the Packers go from the number one quarterback situation in that division in the North to the worst.
Yeah.
So
I gotta give Colin Cowherd some credit because he said, and it's a good point, is that Green Bay, they don't have an owner. So Aaron can't go to one particular person and be like, hey man, fix this. They're owned by the people, so I think that's one of the things that he struggles with, is like he can't go to someone and be like, hey, this is what I need or this is what I want. There's no line of communication.
That's a great point.
where do you guys think, what's a good fit for him? Just real fast.
Yeah.
Throw that out there.
A different team.
Yeah. Like I personally,
Oh,
I know Denver came up on draft the first night of the draft or the first day,
Mhm.
and I do think it's a good fit because they have offensive weapons. They have a solid defense. He's got ties with some of the coaches, so I think it would be a good fit. Not good for the Raider fans. But make the division fun. Derek Carr, Rodgers, Mahomes, and who am I missing?
Herbert,
Herbert.
Justin.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, exactly. Yeah, I'll go with the Broncos, but also I know the Saints will have to give up a lot. But since Aaron, he's at 36, 37 years old, he's he's closer to retirement. So giving him that winning chance, I feel like would be good for him.
yeah, he would definitely have a chance to win there once Brady retires. But I'm just gonna stick in the AFC West and go with the Raiders. I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool with him on that team and John Gruden, and just a lot of trash talking and bad attitudes. Can lean on Jacobs in the running game, has Waller to dish it to and Ruggs to throw it deep. Could be fun.
What
So it's a
about
good
this
pick.
one? Since we put a no time limit on this show, just throwing it out there. There's no way it'll happen. But what if the Texans are just like, take this Deshaun Watson dude off our hands? We're gonna give you whatever we can, because man, that team is bad, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rodgers surprisingly doesn't have a no trade clause. So I was just looking at teams that really need a QB badly. And if Watson isn't playing, that team needs a QB.
Dude, I
And
feel like
Aaron
the
Rodgers is going
Texans,
to jeopardy if that trade happens.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like the Texans were just absent from draft night. I know they didn't pick in the first round, but like there wasn't a Texans fan. Like Houston they don't even have a team, it seemed like.
Yeah, they're really bad, man.
We have a problem. Hey, and talking about the draft, y'all, I want to go with you guys. It was a little sleeper pick. So I just want to see who was your sleeper pick in this NFL draft this season.
I'll give you mine. I had a few, but I kind of got to be a homer, and I'm going to go with Demetric Felton from UCLA. Cleveland drafted him in the sixth round, and when he got drafted, it said wide receiver. He played both at UCLA. He finished his career there as a running back. He's got that Jarvis Landry size. He's a little shorter. He's like 5'9", 190, but he's super fast. I think, he can be a great third down back. You've got Chubb and Kareem Hunt. You got this guy can come out of the backfield, catch passes. Last season, out of 132 rushing attempts, he broke 36 tackles. I mean, that's a lot for a guy that size. He can return kicks. In his career at UCLA, he had over 2,600 yards, 16 touchdowns. Nice slot guy if they want to put him out there with Odell and Landry. So I feel like that's going to be a high-powered offense again. And yeah, I didn't want to pick some, first or second round dude. So sixth round, good sleeper. Stick with the local dude.
That's a great sleeper pick in a Chip Kelly offense as well.
Yeah.
Doing that.
That was a deep dive. I
That
went to the
was.
second round.
I like that. Yeah, I went to the
So
first round like a bum.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you guys out like that.
Oh, you did? Don't you worry.
I know
thought
both of ours are from the
you
first and
like a
second.
loser. So
I accept it.
I like Javonte Williams from North Carolina. I just remember him destroying Miami last year in one of their final games of the season. He was just running over, through, away from people. So he had 1,140 yards and he averaged 7.3 yards per carry. So that's really impressive. He went to the Broncos, and I think he could be a three down back. So fantasy people, look out. I think Javonte Williams and that offense could be sneaky next year.
Especially with Aaron Rodgers at QB.
There you go.
Ooh, yes. Okay. So what he did with Aaron Jones. Well, I want to keep it top 10 pick. The Heisman Trophy winner. I like it just for him and the team, Devontae Smith. Just because I thought he was going to get drafted to Miami, but seeing Waddle go makes a complete sense because Waddle, he's like an all-around guy, punt return, kick return, he could do it all. But having Devontae go with Jalen Hurts, get Jalen Hurts some familiarity with the receiver. Philly doesn't have that many receiving core, not to be disrespectful to the Eagles and Zach out there, but Philly doesn't scare you with their receiving core. So I like Devontae Smith, see what he could do in that offense, prove some doubters wrong for doubting his size. So I like Devontae.
No doubt.
Steve, we see your hat, see your shirt. I want to get your thoughts on the Chicago Bears 2021 draft.
Man, I feel like I'm like a proud parent. So I'm glad we don't have a limit on this show. Deal with it, people. Man, I should have recorded myself during that first round, but I'm like a parent whose kid comes home every semester with shitty ass grades. barely making a 2.0 average. Sometimes they're like 2.5, but a lot of times it's like a D plus average. And my kid is Ryan Pace, right? That's what I'm talking about. So he comes home with this report card. I'm just always like, son, you got to do better. Like, you're not going to get the toys you want. And then he finally, after years of me being upset, he hears what I have to say and he studies hard and he comes back and he gets an A effing plus. And that's what
in biology too, not just PE.
Yeah, he aced math by like whatever the subject, he aced it. And man, I was texting you guys. I'm watching, right? And the best thing that happened actually was the Cowboys and the Eagles traded, which was shocking. And the Cowboys were at 10, Giants 11, Eagles at 12. 10 and 12 swapped, and Dallas picked up a pick. And so what happened was Philly took who you just talked about, Devontae Smith. That's who the Giants must have wanted. And I'm watching, I'm just like, this ticker needs to go off and it needs to say trade alert. And it said trade alert. And then I see the orange and the navy pop up. And I'm like, holy shit, man, they did it. And then I'm texting you guys and my other friends. And I'm like, man, it has to be Justin Fields, because if they traded up for Mac Jones, I tweeted it. I'm like, if it's not Justin Fields, I'm buying a Justin Herbert jersey right away. And they did it. And this is what all the fans wanted. And everybody, including me, was like, there's no way Javon even texted that night, like, why aren't the Bears trading up? Like when it was like around the Denver pick 9, right? And I was like, because nobody wants a 20th pick. And they did it. And people think they gave up a lot, but they really didn't. They didn't give up a second or third round pick from this draft. They gave up a first round pick next season. But man, if Justin Fields is half the dude people think he can be, Cynthia Freeland from NFL Network was saying that out of the 16 teams she polled, half of them had Justin Fields as QB1. And that's without even polling 16 other teams. So that's a quarter of the league had this guy as the number 1 ranked QB over Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
And they got him at 11. Then they trade up in the second round on the next night and got Tevin Jenkins, who is, from the clips I've seen, is a beast. And everybody had the Bears picking him at 20 if they didn't trade up. And they got him at 39. Then later on in the 5th round, they pick another offensive lineman who's a monster, right? So they needed tackles. They drafted 2 tackles. This guy in the 5th round, Larry Borum, he could play guard or tackle. Then they had 3 6-rounders and a 7th. They got a running back, Khalil Herbert out of Virginia Tech, Daz Newsome out of UNC, super speedy guy. Thomas Graham Jr., cornerback out of Oregon. He didn't play last season. And then they got the BYU captain, defensive tackle in the 7th round. So all the mock draft, I mean, all the experts, it's really small. The Bears
Experts.
but I'm talking, there's like legit 25 dudes on here. The Bears' lowest grade is an A-. Their GPA, it has the GPA at the side, is 3.99.
Damn.
Okay. So I know I ranted, man, but it's years of pain of not having a QB. And, there's never a guarantee what these dudes are going to do. But it's like they read Twitter, man. They listened to what the fans wanted, and it's not just going to be Andy Dalton, and he might play the whole season. But, man, I feel like even when they traded up to get Tevin Jenkins, they traded their 3rd-round pick. But, man, it was worth it, dude. It was worth it. If their top 2 guys pan out, they got a offensive tackle in QB for the next 10 years. So it gives Bears fans hope. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me rant. But, yeah, A+. I'm a proud father. Thank you, Ryan Pace, for doing your homework.
Pace heard you.
He listened.
Yes, he did.
They saw the complaining
They did.
and all the years of suffering. And what years of suffering, though? I mean, it's not like you guys miss the playoffs every year. But anyways, I agree.
It's more so QB suffering,
Yeah, the Bears have just kind of like, they're tough. They're not flashy. Now you're going to be flashy.
I don't know. The O linemen that they drafted and picked up as free agents, it seems like they want to protect their QB, run the ball. I mean, I'm just excited, dude. I can't wait. They play the.
I think that was the big story from the weekend, though, was Justin Fields going there. Nobody had that
because it wasn't supposed to happen. Not like
that,
and to get him at 11 was just it just worked out perfectly, man. So I'm excited. They play the Rams at SoFi this season. They play the Raiders in Vegas. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped. I'm gonna try and get to those games.
You'll be at both of those.
I'm gonna try to.
Whose house? I'm there with you. Not all day.
SoFi.
Let's go.
Yeah, I feel like just
makes an adjustment and lets Justin Fields do what he's comfortable, because Fields can move and throw. So hopefully broadens that offense for him.
Yeah. We'll see how long, I mean, I guess best case scenario is really actually that he doesn't play this season and that Andy Dalton kind of does well, because or Justin Fields just from the get-go just balls out in practice in these preseason games. And so we'll see. It's like I said, man, they signed Andy Dalton. You guys heard me a couple months ago. I was pissed. I'm excited now, and all Bears fans are. Search Bears on Twitter. There's if they're a Bears fan, they're happy.
You got your guy.
Yeah. What about you, Javon? What about you liking the Titans?
So I think the 1st-round pick, Caleb Farley, cornerback from Virginia Tech, super talented. And I think I said on the show that we should go get a corner, but he does have some weird back injury history. So if he's healthy, he's gonna be a beast, but that remains to be seen. So it's definitely a high risk, high reward kind of pick there. And then we did address the O-line in the 2nd round, which I did like. We had a bad injury last year on the line towards the end of the season. So this guy's he's more of a run blocking kind of guy. So this is Dylan Radin, a tackle out of North Dakota State. Not a big school, obviously, but I still like the pick there. And then in the third round, went to the defense with Monty Rice, linebacker out of Georgia. I think that's a great pick. We re-signed Jayon Brown, so I think this is an opportunity for him to mentor a young kid and kind of be that middle linebacker to take over, in the next few years. So overall, I'm happy with the draft. I won't bore everyone with kind of the late round picks here, but those were kind of my favorites. And yeah, I think they address some needs. Obviously, the first round pick is going to be a gamble, but we'll see. We'll see if it pays off, man.
You want to hear their GPA?
Oh,
Let's see what they got.
Out of all these guys, no, it's good, man.
Yeah,
3.03.
Damn. Okay.
That's solid. They got all the grades are A's and B's. Some dude, I don't even who is it? Matt Lombardo gave him a D, but I don't know. I give him a D because I don't know who he is.
Well, he's okay in my book so far, since he gave us an okay grade.
Give you that D, no passing grade.
Yeah, what did the Rams do?
Rams, see, they shocked. They didn't draft a offensive lineman. I thought they were gonna get an O-line guy. The guy that's like Tutu Atwell, he's a quick receiver that they got in the second round. As we know, Rams traded all their first round picks previous years for certain players, and I ain't mad at it. So we got Tutu. But the only thing I thought they were going to get an O-lineman, they got a receiver, some defense linebacker, Ernest Jones, third round, and a DT, Bobby Brown from Texas A&M in the fourth round. So they addressed some defensive and offensive issues, giving Stafford some more targets. But I'm assuming Les Snead, who's recovering from COVID, heal up, my man, that they're preparing on a trade to get an O-line, get some big guys around Stafford to protect that man.
What's your grade for them? What, like,
my grade?
I can feel you good about it.
I'll give him a C. I'll keep it very neutral because I wasn't too impressed and I wasn't disappointed. But as I mentioned, I was thinking they would get an O-lineman. And Zach, I'll give him another shout out. He thought the Rams were going to get an O-line guy as well, which shocked us.
That's what I thought. Rams Twitter seemed pretty pissed off.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
What's Whitworth's deal? Is he coming back?
Yes, he is.
Okay. But yeah, you're gonna need to replace him at some point.
You can put more than 5 receivers on the field at a time, and I feel like now they got like 9. Drafted 2, right? You said?
Yeah, 2. Yep, 2, and they have like Josh Reynolds that they Van Jefferson was last.
Van Jefferson later on too.
Yes, they tight end. I'm sorry, sir.
It was a tight end.
Yes, they did in the 7th round. Ben Skronik from Notre Dame.
Maybe he won't even make the squad.
To the 249th pick. But yeah, they drafted.
What did you guys think of Atlanta getting Kyle Pitts? You think that was the right move for them, or did you think they should have pivoted and drafted a QB?
Well, I think if we're running it's hard, man. You see what's happening with Aaron Rodgers, right? So we talked about that at the beginning. I think if you go, let's say they drafted Justin Fields, you got Matt Ryan making the same type of demand. So I think their thinking was Kyle Pitts, outside of quarterbacks could be what everybody's saying, the best player in the entire draft and like this generational talent. So if that's the case, their offense is going to be sick. Oh, what'd you think, Julian?
Yeah, I like the Kyle Pitts pick just because, like, as you were mentioning, the hype, and I feel like teams want to follow like the Travis Kelce's, the Rob Gronkowski's, the Darren Wallers. It's like a athletic tight end that could block, but also catch and make big plays for that quarterback. And I feel like Matt Ryan will like Pitts because he likes to throw to those tight ends if he can't get it to Julio or Calvin Ridley.
Do you like it?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I mean, I think I agree with you guys because he is a sensational talent. But at what point do you, and I'm not a master on the cap hits and all that salary stuff by any means, but what I've kind of read was that it would have been a big cap hit had they either moved off Matt Ryan or, not played him basically this year. So I guess that made sense, but I'm just excited to see that offense next year. I think they have along if Kyle Pitts is what people say he is with Julio, I know he's a little older, and Calvin Ridley, that's going to be crazy.
Well, now that division is, outside of Tampa is kind of, the Saints are not like that top team anymore, or
Yeah.
may not
I
be.
like the Falcons. I didn't really look at their draft as much as far as like what else they addressed, but I think they could surprise some people next year.
Yeah. To some other shockers for me, well, or as a Bears fan, not to get on my rant again, but where I was nervous was I thought maybe the Lions would have drafted Justin Fields. And now I will say this, even as an NFC North Bears fan, like the Lions to me had one of the best drafts. Then I thought Denver, even though, they've got Drew Lock there, and who they just didn't they just trade for Teddy, right?
Teddy Bridgewater,
Yeah.
yep.
I honestly don't know why they didn't draft Justin Fields. And then I was a little nervous that when Philly traded up, that like maybe they weren't sold on Jalen Hurts and that they were going for him. So I was a little nervous off of that. But yeah. Oh, do you want to know the Rams grade real fast? Based on all
Please, please.
they finished 30th out of 32.
Damn,
They barely
yeah.
graduated, 2.03 GPA.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't impressive at all.
They had a couple D minuses.
Oh, okay. I can see that. Just went in.
Yeah,
All
actually, I like what all the NFC North teams did except for the Packers. So
right.
I thought Cleveland had a really good draft. I thought the Chargers drafted well.
Yes, I did.
Carolina, there was a lot of teams that I thought did really well.
I can't wait for this season. As Javon mentioned some fantasy football earlier, we will be giving y'all those sleeper picks for your lineups. But guys, we're going to stay with the draft. I have a question. So it was like a college reunion, this draft, with just players reuniting with former faces that they met on campus and played with on campus, ate with. So I want to see, what college reunion are you excited to see on the field next season? We got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Tua and Jalen Waddle, Hurts and Devontae Smith. They played a few games, not too much. And obviously Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne got drafted to the Jaguars. So who do you think is going to flourish this season?
Dude, this is a sick question. And it's just crazy that you pointed this out and picked this up, because that's a bunch of just talent playing with each other, and they were on the same teams together. And one quick thing I was just thinking about is like, are these GMs starting to realize like we can draft kind of just based on chemistry and what guys have from working before? I mean, it's just something to think about. So I think that's cool.
Hey, Jalen, that's a great point, because I'm thinking Bill Belichick is going to Nick Saban's guys to Alabama and drafting the guys that Saban vocalizes that are good listeners, a good player. So I could see that trend happening for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think for me, I'm most excited to see Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, just because we haven't seen Trevor Lawrence in the league, obviously what he did at Clemson. And yeah, Etienne's a home run hitter. So I thought that was cool. They kind of drafted him a little high in my opinion, but hey, you know what? Maybe he wasn't going to be there later. So I'm really hyped to see Trevor Lawrence. He can take off and run with it. They might do some option stuff with him. They might, do some obviously like scat back, some screens and stuff. So I think Urban Meyer is going to have some crazy plays drawn up for those two guys.
I like that. Can I make a point off of that, or just comment? I actually support it a lot. I had some friends, like we're always talking about group chats, and they were bashing the pick. They were like, they drafted it like they didn't need him. And I said, but they have a ton of picks, right? I think they had 6 of the top 65 picks in the draft. And what people forget is nobody before COVID, right? Nobody goes to Jags games. I know Trevor Lawrence is obviously so marketable, but now you can market this Clemson duo. And I know they had a great back or have a great back in Robinson, and they're saying, Urban Meyer already said ATN's going to be this third down back. But man, it's like, what's wrong with having these weapons? And could they have gotten other guys? Yeah, but like I said, they had so many draft picks, and part of what people forget is it's also about selling tickets, right? And
Yeah.
Jags don't sell tickets, so now it's just this great. Like I see the posters with these two dudes on them all over Jacksonville, right? Not just Trevor Lawrence, but both these guys. So no, I like that. I like that selection by you.
Yeah, and you know what? If you get depth never hurts. Look at teams that have high-powered offenses. They have multiple backs that can, do different things.
Well, look at CMC, right? He was like the workhorse and has been hurt. Not everybody's just this huge beast like Derrick Henry, right? So if you don't have Derrick
Yeah.
Henry, there's nothing wrong with going with the whatever they call it, a three-headed monster, and having different styles of running backs. So it's not the 90s anymore where these guys are, getting 300 carries, 350 carries a season.
Right.
So yeah, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. As you mentioned Cleveland earlier, Steve, look at Cleveland's Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. And then you had Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram together that one year. So I agree with you guys on the pick at ETN and Lawrence. They're going to be a crazy duo, and they're comfortable with each other already. So they know each other's tendencies. Trevor knows where to throw ETN the ball, different coverages, different slangs for blocking or anything. So I like that pick.
Yeah, I picked probably the easy one, right? I picked Burrow to Jamar Chase. 2019, 15-0. Dude caught with Burrow 84 catches, almost 1,800 yards and 20 touchdowns. And I touched on his stats a while back on another show, but that's the season he won the Biletnikoff Award and was a first-team All-American. So now the fact that they didn't draft an O tackle early, he might not be getting the ball. He might, hopefully they address that. But yeah, I like that. Just Burrow to Chase and the other legit receivers that they have on that team. I think it's definitely a team that can put up a lot of points now.
I could see Chase putting up some Justin Jefferson numbers like Justin did last season.
Yeah,
for sure.
What about you, Jules? Who'd you picked? Who'd you pick?
Yeah, so it's all good. I agree. Like I want to go with both you and Javon. I'm in the middle with both of you guys because I like those duos. And what you mentioned with Burrow and Chase, they showed their dominance when everyone was coming for them that year. I know they had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They were just a stacked team, but they did their work as well. So I'm in the middle of Lawrence and ETN and Burrow and Chase. I'm sorry, and Chase.
Chase, yeah.
So I agree with both of you guys on that one.
Who do you think out of those two could have the biggest flop potential?
Out of those two duos?
Yeah, or no, not out of those two. Out of the four you gave us,
Hurts and Smith. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah,
me too.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that, man, Devontae Smith immediately becomes their best receiver, and if I don't know their full draft or exactly who else is on their team, but Jalen Hurts is, I don't want to say he's unproven, but he's definitely unproven to be like a star NFL QB. So it could be, it's a great pickup for them, but I don't think it's
defenses are gonna scheme to stop him.
Key on him, and I don't think he's gonna be a bust, but I don't think it's gonna be tough to come out and have this amazing season on that team.
Exactly. And a first-year head coach trying to figure out different plays, different lineups for him.
He can't even do an interview without being a goofball.
Yeah. And we know those Philly fans.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Hey, do you guys have anything else to say before we sign off?
Go Bears.
Not really. I think, Bears what?
Hey,
Go Bears, man.
go. Whose house? Yo, thank
When are
you.
you
guys.
gonna get the jersey, man? That's all we got to know. Is you got to bring the jersey out.
It came out the next day, so I had here. I pulled it out. I haven't. This is the last Bears jersey I've owned.
Ooh,
Matt
Forte.
Forte, dude. It's really old, but I
Dude.
still have it. So yeah, I feel like I gotta order a Fields jersey just because, you know, the last good QB was Jay Cutler, man. Whew.
I get
Hey,
a Dalton first, dude.
If you buy it, we'll get a Dalton. How's that?
Send this man a jersey. Send him a Fields jersey. Chicago. Send
Yeah,
this guy a jersey. He is loyal to
like
you
that.
guys. He deserves one.
Yeah, somebody send me a jersey. I have almost 500 followers on Instagram. I'll promote it.
Yo, guys, thank you for tuning in with us. Don't forget to check us out on our podcast on Apple Podcasts, social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and we will deliver more content for you guys to check out and listen to. Thanks again for listening and watching. Have a good night.